Matt Druver here. We have experienced a number of changes in the last 2 months here on the planet Earth. Some changes have been extreme, more so for others than maybe ourselves. There are individuals who have lost their jobs, individuals who will have to relocate because of the pandemic. Some individuals have been caught up in the whirlwind of anxiety and worry. Others have noted a familial reconnection. There have been positive things that have happened. And then with this most recent tragedy of just deplorable and contemptible human behavior, I think that we see biblical characters who have gone through situations that were a surprise, things that they didn't expect, things that were seemingly unendurable, people that experienced irreplaceable loss or irretrievable loss. The thing that we see through Scripture, though, is that prayer takes place in the midst of situations that are just seemingly unendurable. Both in the Bible we see them and we hear stories of them, how individuals get through times that are just unbearable or seemingly unpassable. Those mountains that Jesus talks about. In Daniel, we see a picture of a man who prays even in the face of the threat of death. And it says in verse 11, verse 10 of chapter 6, "Now when Daniel learned that the decree had been published, he went home to his upstairs room, where the windows opened toward Jerusalem. 3 times a day he got down on his knees and prayed, giving thanks to his God, just as he had done before. Then these men went as a group and found Daniel praying and asking God for help." Daniel knew that this decree had been placed because of him. They're trying to catch him and prevent him from praying. By this time in Daniel's life, he's seen God do so many things. There is no way that Daniel is going to forsake the very one that had helped him. And I would suggest for us today, if you haven't had a strong prayer life, there is good reason to develop one, because we serve a God who hears us and responds to what we ask. He may not respond the way we want him to, but he will respond, because he is a father who listens to the cries of his children. It says in Revelation, at the close of the age, it mentions prayer as incense rising before God. That is humbling to me, because those prayers are saved. God hears them. He is aware of them. And they influence him. They affect him. And he responds to them. And you'll hear me speak about prayer frequently, because prayer is one of those things for me that I have seen over and over and over again to be so effective and so meaningful. You want to know the most important part of prayer for me? It's not the answers. It's a fact that I sense God's presence. I sense the help of his presence. I sense the fact that he's with me. And I'm reminded of how much he cares. And that blesses me, encourages me, and strengthens me to keep moving forward in him. So pray and seek God. He's there, he's listening, he cares, and he answers. Blessings upon you today. Bye.